So, if you're a senior multi-cloud architect, you know you've built something incredible, something really powerful. But with all that power comes a huge challenge, right? How do you manage and make sense of a network that's sprawling across, well, everywhere? How do you get control? Let's dive in.
Let me ask you a simple question. Can you truly see your entire network all at once? I mean, everything. If you're juggling workloads across AWS, Azure, and GCP, the honest answer is probably, it's complicated. And that fragmentation, that's the exact problem we're going to tackle.
This brings us to what I like to call the architect's blind spot. And let's be super clear here. This isn't some kind of failure on your part. It's actually the natural result of a successful multi-cloud strategy. You've done the smart thing. You've picked the best services from each provider. But in doing that, you've accidentally created these inherent gaps in your visibility.
Your reality probably looks a lot like this. You've got resources in AWS, some in Azure, and more over in GCP. Now, each one is an absolute powerhouse on its own, but their native network tools, their logging systems, it's like they all speak a different language. They operate in their own little silos, which makes getting a single, cohesive view of your network traffic, well, pretty much impossible right out of the box. And what does this lead to? A flood of data. So let's get specific and actually look at the sources of all this network chaos. Because without some kind of structure, all this information doesn't help. It just adds to the confusion. All right, first up, from Amazon Web Services, you've got VPC Flow Logs. These things are essential. They capture all the IP traffic metadata for every single network interface inside your virtual private cloud. Basically, it tells you who's talking to whom, on what port, and whether that connection was allowed or flat out denied. Then you pop over to the Microsoft world, and you've got Azure's NSG Flow Logs. It's a very similar idea, but of course, it has a different implementation. These logs track traffic flowing through a network security group. Same goal, just a different source and a different format. And to complete the trio, Google Cloud has its own VPC Flow Logs. And again, it serves broadly the same purpose, recording network flows for your virtual machines, but it has its own little quirks and its own data structure. You see the pattern here, right? 3 different clouds, 3 different dialects of network data. So what's the real-world fallout from all these silos? Well, it's pretty significant. You're trying to piece together totally different data formats, which means you have no single source of truth for your network. And that can lead to some scary stuff, like critical security events getting missed, tracking your resources becoming a nightmare, and compliance audits turning into these incredibly painful, time-consuming ordeals. But what if we could turn all that chaos into clarity? This brings us to the turning point, the central hub solution. It's a really elegant architectural pattern designed to create that single source of truth that you're missing. The core idea here is actually beautifully simple. You just aggregate all of those different flow logs into one central analysis platform. This isn't about replacing the native tools, not at all. It's about bringing all their data together to make it exponentially more powerful. So how do you do it? The whole process really breaks down into 3 clear steps. First, you collect all the raw logs from AWS, Azure, and GCP. Second, and this part is absolutely critical, you standardize that data. You normalize everything so it all speaks the same language. And finally, you analyze and visualize it all in one place, correlating data across your entire multi-cloud environment. Okay, so once you've built this central hub, you start to unlock some unbelievably powerful insights. This is where the magic happens. Let's look at exactly what you gain from having this brand new, unified view of your network. The first major win is a game changer for security. We're talking true anomaly detection. When all your traffic data is in one place, you can finally figure out what normal actually looks like. So any deviation, like a sudden burst of data going to a strange IP or a port scan that jumps across clouds, it just stands out immediately. You can finally find the threats that were just hiding in all that noise. The second huge benefit is all about governance. And this is for anyone who's ever dreaded an audit. Streamlined compliance reporting. Yep, the days of manually trying to stitch together reports from 3 different platforms, those days are over. With a unified platform, you can run a single query against your entire network's traffic data. You need to prove that insecure protocols are blocked everywhere for a PCI DSS audit? One query. Done. Need to show all the access logs for HIPAA? One query. This literally turns what used to be a week-long audit scramble into a 5-minute task. And finally, a benefit that goes straight to the bottom line: actionable optimization insights.
Because complete visibility doesn't just mean better security, it means better efficiency and real cost savings. For instance, by analyzing traffic patterns between your clouds, you might discover a super chatty application in AWS is constantly pulling huge amounts of data from a database over in Azure. You know what that means: a massive data transfer bill. This insight lets you make a smart architectural change, like moving the application, and boom, look at a chart like this. The cost savings can be absolutely massive.
So let's just bring it all together for a second. By putting an architecture like this in place, you fundamentally change your entire operational reality. You literally move from a state of chaos to a state of complete clarity. I mean, the transformation is just profound. You go from being fragmented and constantly reactive, always putting out fires, to being unified and proactive. Your data silos, they become a single source of truth. And most importantly, all those dangerous blind spots are replaced with complete end-to-end visibility across your entire multi-cloud estate. Look, your network is talking all the time. It's telling you where the threats are, it's telling you where the inefficiencies are, and it's telling you where the risks are hiding. With a unified analytics strategy, you can finally start to listen. So the only question left is, are you ready?